Right, hello. My name's Neil. I live in Bristol, and I'm in my 40s. We'll just leave it at that. The reason I'm doing this video diary is to highlight the awful problems that people have in taking addictive prescribed medication, things like antidepressants and especially benzodiazepines, drugs like these, if you can quite see that with the light. But this, or these, are clonazepam. About 7 years ago, because I was being, very long story which I'll condense, being harassed by a neighbour, and it got so bad that I ended up in A&E, and I was given these things. I was given them with every good intention, I'm sure, by the doctors at the hospital. And unfortunately, because of the state I was in, I couldn't take in any information about the tablets, and really things weren't followed up. And within about a month, I couldn't do without them. And to cut a long story short, it nearly prevented me getting my journalism qualification, and it did prevent me from going on into work afterwards, and actually ended up with me leaving London completely and moving down here. Now, one of these clonazepam tablets that I've just shown you, I just want to try and get some perspective for people that don't know about these things. One of these is equal to, these are diazepam, otherwise known as Valium, which you'll all know. One of those 2 milligram tablets is equal to 40, and I'm not joking, 40 milligrams of diazepam. Now, I had a lot of pressure put on me to try and come off clonazepam. And again, fast forwarding, I made the switch to diazepam, which I now take. What I wasn't told was any of the unpleasant side effects that would happen as a result of it, such as chronic depression, suicidal behaviour, and like I said, to cut a long story short, I've endured about 18 months of really bad health, which ended up with me nearly taking my own life this May. A fact which I've only shared with one person, not even with the medics. I'm not doing this for myself, although obviously I have to tell a bit of the story to hopefully help people to understand. I'm doing this because these drugs, in my opinion, are evil. They're not regulated properly. The consultants, it appears, are far too arrogant and beyond being held accountable for the things that they do. And just a sobering thought, it appears that there's up to about 1 million people, such as myself, taking these things. People are dependent on these things, and that's not good. It's not good for the individual. It's not good for the NHS. It's not good for anything. And that doesn't even get to the point where I start talking about other things that I've had to take as a result, probably of being on these things, but that will have to keep for another update. I want to try and keep these diaries reasonably short. I don't want to fill people with too much information. What I would say is go to Mail Online, believe it or not. There is there's an article about how prescription drugs are now the UK's third biggest killer. I'm assuming that includes everything, including opioids, things that people take for chronic pain. But things that are habit forming. The tragedy about these drugs is that they don't prevent the things. They don't prevent people from taking their own lives. As we all know, suicide's on the increase. They don't prevent people from having rotten quality of lives. In fact, they don't do anything, in my view, other than create a dependency and a quality of life which is frankly not worth, it's not worth well, whatever the phrase is, not worthwhile. I've set up a Facebook group which is Campaign. So if you look for my ugly mug on Facebook, it's Neil Evans. If you have been affected by taking benzodiazepines in particular, but also if you have dependency on antidepressants or any kind, or you feel you've been treated badly, I'm trying to raise awareness of this so that the NHS and doctors can be held to account in a way that they're simply not at the moment. They're completely untouchable. And if you find my name, there's a lot of Neil Evanses I appreciate on Facebook, but it's you basically, if you find my name, ask to join the group, and I'd love to hear your experiences about your mistreatment on these medications and how you've been let down. I will finish by saying that obviously some short-term prescription, when these things are used properly and responsibly, then obviously they can be of some benefit to some people. But the more people I meet who've taken these things and are taking these things, the more I'm convinced that the majority are actually in the situation that I'm in and people I know are in, and that just can't go on. Anyway, maybe I'll explain more about what I think lies behind these problems in the next video diary, but I'm signing off for now anyway. Hope everyone stay well out there, and bye for now.